that should wrap it up for another blog. So vlog. It's a video log, I guess. I don't know what blog. What does blog stand for then? What's the B for? Hey guys, Tristan from Cherry Tuning Performance. Hopefully you can hear me okay. It is a little windy out here, so I don't know how good this camera is going to be with the wind, but doing another vlog video today. Another product that we sell quite a bit of. I know the guys overseas in the US and Canada and stuff, they sell the crap out of these. They're considered by some people to be the first mod you should do on one of these turbo cars. Sorry, I stopped shaking you around. So it's considered one of the first mods you should do on one of these turbo cars. It's a new boost control solenoid. They clean up the boost control in these cars substantially. Especially we're finding on these new 2021 model cars. We're getting people who are getting cars that are throwing codes from overboost from factory. So not tuned, not anything, no mods at all. And then they're getting overboost codes and having to go back to the dealership. And the dealerships are replacing the solenoids with new solenoids, but not upgrading them, just putting, you know, new genuine ones in. So yeah, nice easy upgrade. Well, relatively easy. I'm going to show you today easy upgrade for fixing the boost solenoids in these cars. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's some people swear by this. They're saying, you know, the car transforms the car, makes it completely different, makes it into a way better vehicle. I find that it does definitely clean up the boost control. It feels stronger up towards redline, but you know, it's no replacement for, you know, retuning the car or something like that. So I have tuned cars that have had stock solenoids in them and still make really good, clean, strong power. I've had other cars that I've had to change the solenoid because they flat out haven't made power at all, because you can't turn the boost up because then they stutter and fall over and all sorts of shit. I do know with the 2021s, when you start doing exhaust work, it can trigger this as well. I did a race pipe on a car, and even just driving home, he threw an overboost code. So I guess the new tune in the 2021s in Australia, at least, is a much more aggressive tune than the previous models. So I guess it's like right close to that limit of overboost, and it doesn't take much to push them past that. So if you're really worried about warranty in your 2021 model, yeah, maybe avoid some modifications, but realistically, Hyundai has been saying to people, if you do an exhaust, it's usually fine. I won't go into the whole warranty argument now, but usually you would say warranty is causality based, so it's whatever mods you do to the car. Anything that's affected by those mods, directly affected by those mods, will have its warranty made void. So if you chuck lowering springs in your car and your shock absorber starts leaking, well, yeah, duh, because you lowered your spring and the shock's not in the same spot, and okay, that's fair. But, you know, if I lowered my car and my door handle, my mirror fell off, whatever, then yeah, they can't turn around and say, oh, your mirror fell off because you've lowered the car. Well, you know, extra vibration. Well, I don't know. It becomes this like hard to prove anyway. So I'm going to get into this now. I'm going to show you guys. I've actually already started. You can probably see there. Jacked the car up, taken off the wheel. I've taken off the fender liner as well, because we find that's the easiest way to get access to the solenoid. I have seen people do this down from the top. I'll show you where that is as well. If you're game, you're welcome to try. I've done it once, and like it literally looked like a cat had attacked me. My arm was all scratched up. So I don't bother anymore. It doesn't take much effort to jack the car up and pull the guard out. So I'll show you where that is now. So if we start with where the solenoid is, it is down there. In through this side here. I guess if you move your horn out of the way, you'd have a little bit more room. I can reach and I can touch it. I can get my fingers on the bracket. This car is warm. It's been driven here, so I'd rather not, if I can avoid it, you know, reaching down there and burning myself on stuff. Maybe in the North American cars, because they don't have the brake booster here, they have a lot more access down through the back. Maybe that's why they're saying to do it that way, but we're finding that doing the boost solenoids in these cars is much easier from underneath. The other thing we're finding is that a lot of people are finding these solenoids down here, which is on the end of this hose here, which goes into the vacuum reservoir on the manifold. We're finding a lot of people are doing those solenoids thinking they're the boost control solenoid. They're not. They're the blow-off valve control solenoid. So the blow-off valves in these, which is on the other end of that pipe down there, the blow-off valves in these cars are vacuum actuated and controlled by the ECU using a solenoid down there. Because there's a vacuum reservoir, it means it can open the solenoid even when there's no vacuum in the system. So when you're under load, it can actually open the blow-off valve a little bit to bleed off excess boost. So it's using the solenoid as secondary boost control to control with the blow-off valve. If you block off your blow-off valve, or some aftermarket blow-off valves, we don't find GFB to be a problem, but some aftermarket blow-off valves, when you block them off or swap them out, you do get a check engine light saying that the bypass valve is not working properly, or the blow-off valve is not working properly. That's because the solenoid is trying to bleed out some boost, and it's finding it's not able to. So the car kind of freaks out a little bit. So the way we send these out, they come with a bracket on them that we rivet on. Sometimes the rivet gun slips a little bit, so I apologize if you get one that's got a mark on it, because I make these all by hand. So yeah, we rivet these onto this bracket. This bracket screws into the factory location. There's 3 ports on here. There's the vent port. There is a vent port on the stock valve as well. I'll show you. There's a cap over it. There's the intake, basically, or the inlet into the solenoid, and then there's the control port. So this here goes to the boost reference, which is on the compressor housing, and this one here goes to controlling the actual solenoid. We're sending them out now with a single loop of hose attached, because we've found people have struggled. We're using a smaller diameter hose here because it's the correct diameter for the car, and it does fit on these solenoids, but it's quite a tight fit. I've had a lot of practice doing this, so I don't have an issue getting these on, so I'm shipping them out with this hose already on like that. Basically, line this up on the car, and we'll show you, figure out how much you need, and then cut this, and you can just attach these hoses in the right spot. So it is 2 hoses on there, but we just put it on as one, just so that I've already fitted both ends, and then also ships without the actual internals, other than the vent port being open to the world. So let's get started. So you'll see here, I've already taken out the liner on this car. Let's put this stuff down. So you'll see here, I've taken out the fender liner on this car. There's a couple of screws here. These screws are a little bit weird. They sit inside this like little rectangular clip. But you can just jam a screwdriver under there, and these clips do come out once the screws are removed. So there's 3 screws here. There's a couple of clips along the inside here. There's some clips along the underside here, and then this whole liner here comes out. I have shown the liners out, actually pulling a liner out in an i30N in a different video. You can check the corner, whichever corner. I'll put a link to the other video there. It does show how to pull the liner out. It's one of our the boost gauge episode that we did for the i30N. Same on these cars. Very, very similar on the Serato GT / Forte, wherever you are in the world, you call it a different thing. So I'll lie down here and show you. So that there is the solenoid on a bracket here. So solenoid is there. So we'll unclip the connector. And it's a 10mm socket there, and then there's just these spring clamps on these hoses here. It's just pinch and pull back, so you can see here it's just a pinch clamp. You pinch it and pull it back. I might grab a pair of pliers just to make my life a little bit easier, but I have got a 10mm ratcheting spanner. Makes your life so much easier. I can't even. Not having a ratcheting spanner, man, that was the worst. These things are so good with a little ratchet on the end of them. So undo that 10mm, and when it's undone, you'll see this bracket will fall out. Trying to drop it into the under tray. So it's fallen out there. That's the bracket there. There's a hose that goes up onto the compressor side, on the intake side. This one here goes into the actual wastegate itself, which is on the top of the turbo. Alright, I'm gonna go get pliers because they're really tight. Set of needle nose pliers. These ones I've modified. I needed a smaller point, so I actually chucked these in a grinder and ground them down so they were a smaller point. I think they were actually longer as well. They're okay. They snapped. These are fishing pliers. I find they're quite good with the the braiding on here because it gives you a lot of grip even if your hands are in gloves, or it's a little, you know, if your hands are oily or whatever. So there's the clip in there. So let's pull that one out. Once you've pulled that clip off, just pull the hose and it should come off. There you go, that's one off. So do the same for the other side. I don't know if you guys can see that at all. I can barely see it, so I doubt you guys can. You just have to do this bit by feel. Just find the other end of the hose, squeeze the spring clamp together with your pliers and then pull the hose down. You'll find constant pressure will get that off. If you just pull and keep pulling the same pressure, it'll slide off eventually. Ugh. And there we have it. That's the stock boost control solenoid. And under here, so these are, people say, oh, there's, you know, there's only 2 ports on my one. There's not, there's 3. It's just there's a cap on this one. I don't want to break it, but there we go. So these are a 3-port solenoid as well. That's a cap. It is open-ish. I believe it vents back down through here. So there's still a 3-port solenoid. They look pretty similar, actually. They're just rotationally different, but same, you put these in the same spots. So this one here was the boost reference. So we'll use this as boost. I don't know what happened there. The camera died, so. So put this back on the stock location. This one here, the one facing out, needs to go up to the wastegate up here. And then this one here has to go to just here to that boost reference. So you'll probably find that one there, you only need like this much hose. So I'll probably cut this here. Not probably, I will cut that there. Like that. And then that goes on that barb. Now they're tight fit. If you really want to, if you're really concerned, you could use a cable tie on here. Or alternatively, you can reuse one of the spring clamps. But I know these are a very tight fit, so I don't stress about them sliding off when driving the car. And then this one here, this one goes up onto the wastegate up here. Maybe in hindsight do the wastegate one first because the other hose is in the way. And then that's the stock loom, cable loom. This is the patch loom that we make. And that just clips in like that. Click. And that's it. So put this rotated back a little bit like that. It is touching a little on the side, but it's not going to be massive. If you're really worried, rotate it around a little bit like that and just tighten up that bolt there. Grab me a 10 mil. And that's it. That's it. All done. Pretty straightforward. So hopefully you guys can see in there fine. That's what the solenoid looks like installed on the car. The vent port is just facing backwards in this, facing down. This port here, this is on the barb under the connector. That's the reference port, so it goes to the compressor outlet. And then this one's the control port, so that's going up to the wastegate, which is up above the other side of the turbo. So I'm going to put this car back together. I'm going to put the car back together now, and we'll take it for a drive, make sure everything's all good. And I think that's it. That's it. I don't want to make this too long or convoluted or anything like that. I do know a lot of people were asking questions about how to do these solenoids, so, and I think we had a few people that were getting confused about where the solenoids go, because the easiest solenoid to see is the one down near the blow-off valve, which is not the right solenoid. So yeah, another quick video, hopefully. I'll chop this up so it's a little bit faster. And yeah, just showing you where these solenoids go and the benefits of using them, and that should wrap it up for another blog. So vlog, it's a video log, I guess. I don't know what blog, what does blog stand for then? It's the B for. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'll see you guys in the next video.